What's up, everybody? Jarrett from Empire of Assets here. It is Sunday morning, and we have a little bit of a slower video today, not talking about any sort of Pokemon, Metazoo, football, basketball product. We are just talking about a little story about something that finally clicked together for me. So sit back, grab yourself a cup of coffee or whatever your nice warm morning beverage of choice is, and enjoy the video. Today's video is going to focus around the phrase, you make your money when you buy, not when you sell. It was something that I had always heard as a little kid, and it finally kind of clicked together for me this last weekend at the National Card Show. So I just kind of want to tell you about it, maybe pass on a little bit of, I don't know if wisdom's the right word, because I don't really think I'm passing on wisdom, but just something that I think is really important to think about in the cards. So this story kind of starts way back when I was a little kid. Me and my dad have always my dad in particular has always wheeled and dealed in car parts and cars themselves. And it's kind of where I learned how to negotiate and how deals work and how all of that stuff works, posting on eBay, Craigslist, looking for stuff. All of that was kind of learned from him. And whenever we would make a deal, this phrase he would sometimes use would be, you make your money when you buy, not when you sell. And as a little kid, that doesn't really make any sense, because when you buy is when you're actually giving the person your money, you're losing money. And then when you sell is when the person actually pays you and you get your money and you get to, count it and see how much you made and all that. So that saying never really made any sense to me. And then fast forward to the present day, or a week ago, I guess, and I went to the National and I saw so many people comping cards on eBay, and sellers not really coming down off of their prices too much. And it kind of clicked to me what that phrase really means. You make your money when you buy, not when you sell. So to kind of break that down, I think the easiest way to start is talking from the selling side, or the end of this thing. And like I mentioned, the National, maybe you already kind of see where this is going. But in today's world of social media, of eBay, of 130 point, of people just having so much information about cards. You have Card Ladder, Slab Stocks. You can see like a regular stock chart of the price of the cards over the last year, 3 years, 5 years, however long. And it just makes it so that it's really hard to charge more. It's impossible, basically, to charge more for the card when you're selling it than what it's actually worth. And people's idea of the worth is incredibly accurate because of all these tools, right? So let's take the PSA 9 Zion card that I bought. That card, the last couple sales on eBay were $400, $395, $390, right in that ballpark. So let's say that the seller that was trying to sell the card had it listed for $500. Well, there's no way he's ever going to make more money than the $400 that person could go buy the card for on eBay. In this scenario, the market is setting the price, because it is an elastic good, is the name of that in econ. It's something where the price is pretty flexible because there's a high supply. So instead of me paying him $500, which I would never do, I would just go buy it on eBay for $400 and save the $100. If you want to sell it for $450, I'm still going to do that. I'm never going to buy the card for him for more than $400. And I actually did get that card just slightly cheaper. But basically what that's saying in this story is that you can't charge more than the market for the card. So if you're trying to make money in cards, you can't increase the value you sell it for, which means you have to make your money when you buy the card by negotiating the card down lower and buying it for less, because you can only ever sell it for X amount of dollars. And this is the situation for so many cards that aren't incredibly rare. Basically, if there's any other ones listed on eBay, people can always compare to that and then negotiate either using that or just go buy that card instead of buying your card. So this is kind of when that saying, you make your money when you buy, finally clicked for me. I think cards is a great example. Going back to the original example when I was a kid, cars are the same. When you're buying a used car in particular, there's only kind of a couple things you look at. Usually brand, how old the car is, how many miles are on it, are kind of the big three things, and how much the price is. So let's say that a car from 2010 with 100,000 miles is selling for $5,000, right? You can't have the same car or a similar car and then expect to sell it for $7,000 because a person will just go out and buy a different used car. Now, obviously, the used car market is a little crazy right now, but that's another story. So cars are kind of the same as cards in this manner, and that you can't charge more than what the market is sort of supplying them at. So that means you have to make the money when you buy or when you negotiate, and that is just something I think everybody should keep in mind. Now, obviously, the market can change. Let's say the player gets really hot. Let's say Zion drops 40 points in the game. Now suddenly the market goes up and you can make a little bit of money. But if you're not trying to wait, you're just trying to flip, make money like that, you have to be able to buy the cards for less than what the market value is. And something like grading would kind of allow you to break this rule, because with the grading, you're putting money and mainly a ton of time and waiting for the card to get graded, and you're actually appreciating the card in value, because then the buyer knows that, oh, this card is going to be a PSA 10 or a PSA 9. They know what they're getting. They don't have to put in the money and the time to grade the card, and they know it's a real card. They know what the exact condition of the card is. So there's some other things there, but that's kind of one way to get around this. And then the other thing that you can do to kind of get around this is, like I mentioned before briefly, having super rare limited cards that somebody can't go out on eBay and buy another copy of. Example of this is like really rare 1-of-1 cards, or maybe out of 10 cards that just don't get listed very often. I know autographed cards do a little better like this because they're just more rare, particularly like dual autographs. I know I just saw like a Jordan LeBron dual auto, right? And that card, there's just not many cards out there that were signed by both Jordan and LeBron. So a card like that, you can kind of set your own price, because the buyer can't just go on eBay and buy another card that is the exact same as that. They're never going to find that. So that's kind of how you can get around it. Obviously, buying those super rare cards like that that are also in demand, because that's the other thing. Let's say you buy a super rare card of 2 players that nobody's ever heard of. Well, nobody wants them. So then your price isn't going to be very high either. So that is just something I wanted to kind of talk about, throw up a little video on this Sunday morning. A good thing to always keep in mind when you're doing deals. You're never going to be able to ask more for market price. So make sure you make your money when you buy, or you plan on holding the card over the long term and you think it will appreciate in value. Thanks guys for watching. I know this is a little different than my typical content, maybe a little bit slower, but I appreciate you watching. Leave a comment down below if you have any other fun sayings that you've always heard or that were kind of passed down to you that you think make a lot of sense for the hobby or the market or investing or collecting or finance in general. I would love to hear them and have a discussion. Otherwise, hit that subscribe button for more content. I promise we won't be doing a ton of videos like this, maybe just once in a while, but we will be back to covering all sorts of fun stuff this next week. So thanks guys for watching. I hope you all have a great rest of your Sunday. Maybe get a relax, go outside, dig a hole, be a carrot, as Rudy always says. And I will see you guys in the next video.